and welcome to What's the P, YouTube's newest gay, black talk channel focusing on topics that actually impact our community. I'm Curtis Priscilla.
I'm Justin Lamar.
And we are your hosts today. Joining us to share their P on today's topic would be Robert Bino and JB. This month's topics is relationships, and in today's episode, we'll be sharing our perspectives on relationships requirement, wants versus needs. A growing topic in social media chat rooms, and on social apps such as Grindr, Jacked, A4A, has been the discussion of requirements, people's requirements, or your wants versus needs as it pertains to dating, finding your soulmate, or guys to hook up with. As we've been reading through these chat room discussions and viewing social media profiles, there has been an overwhelming amount of black gay men with very obvious superficial requirements, which has sparked a conversation that begs the question, are black guys finding it hard to develop relationships because they're hung up on these requirements or these wants?
I think it all comes back to preference. I think a want for me could be a need for you, and vice versa. So I don't think we could paint the issue with a broad brush. I think on a case-by-case basis, we have got to see where people are and what they truly need. Because I may want something, he may have to be 6'1", and that may not matter to you. But I may need him to be 6'1" because he can reach the glasses in the top cabinet.
Well, I was also like, well, how tall are you? So he made me. I'm just saying. That's just me.
But wants versus needs, I think sometimes we say we want this, but do we really need it? Like,
and that doesn't block your blessing.
Like, we could say we want this ideal person, but the ideal person you think you want has nothing you really need.
Yeah. Listen, I want someone to have a job. I need someone to have a job. I want someone to be able to pay their bills on time. And I need someone to pay their bills on time. And I want someone and need someone if we decide to go out to a restaurant and I don't eat cheap. You know, if I say, hey, babe, you know, I got this one. And if we go to another restaurant or another date or whatever, they should have the next one, you know, or we just go in.
But that's not what it says on social media profiles.
Well, I'm talking about me.
I think they focus on the vanity issue of it all on social media.
Superficial, materialistic.
And back to the question, is that keeping guys from, because a lot of people say we want to be in relationships.
Correct.
But are those superficial requirements, it's like, I'll just be raw with it. I don't need them to have 6-pack abs. I need them to have a porn star eggplant. I need them to have a PhD. I need them to make 6 figures. I need them to drive a Mercedes.
I think that's crazy.
But people say it, and I need you to have.
And it's quite all right. People say that, and then eventually they realize nobody will fit them mold.
They don't need it,
and they will steal things
because
back.
we still have a lot of men that are 65 single. Mm-hmm. You know. Yeah. I'm knocking on 43.
But I feel like those people haven't figured out. Those people haven't.
My requirements are not.
Those people haven't figured out what they need. They're still hung up on what I want, and what you want. Like I said, is not always what you need. A person, you want this person, but it can be the worst person in the world, and you caught up in this vanity, and they'll suck your soul dry.
I've got caught up in that.
We're not gonna convince somebody that their want is not a need.
Correct. Well, but at the end of the day, my whole question is, because if this is what you want, do you actually have it to where you can actually request that? But that's the question.
Like it's like a build a date.
Right.
But you don't really have. But you don't really. Okay.
I was gonna say, going back to the whole, he got to have a Mercedes or a PhD. Girl, do you have a PhD? And even if you do have a PhD, you're not going to find someone who decided that, you know what, I'm going to be in school another 100 years just to get the PhD. I mean, be happy with, I guess what God bless you with. If that person is treating you right and making you laugh, then why not?
What are some of your wants or requirements before you start dating people?
I'll agree with you. I mean, I think I need someone that's gainfully employed.
Yes, First and foremost.
I think
What does that mean?
You
Got a job.
You get the
Got a
W-2
job.
at the
Any
end of the year.
Can it be any job? Because I think somebody
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
matter if he's
okay.
does he matter
You and I have
if he's a
discussed
janitor?
this before. You
Yeah.
have a problem with me meeting people and straight off the bat asking, "What is it you do?"
Right.
I don't have a problem doing that because I think that tells me, which direction I can take this or where it could eventually go. It's a part of my screening process, and that's just me. Now, gainfully employed means having an honest job where you're earning a decent living that can support you. I'm quite fine with that. It doesn't have to be white collar. It can be anything, just as long as it's honest. And so, definitely a job. And the ability to communicate.
Yes.
I like,
Yes.
because we have to have conversation. And I like people that are funny, easygoing, and do not take themselves seriously. That's it. Because I don't think I take myself seriously. You guys know me.
But you have no requirements on height.
no, not really.
Weight, cash.
Well, I mean,
need
subliminally,
to have a
I do.
home.
Subliminally, yeah, I do. I mean, I'd like the guy to, be in decent shape.
Right.
Because I don't want to invest everything in him and then he dies from a heart attack in a year or two.
Well,
But I mean, there is a physical aspect to it, yes.
Right.
But I'm not. It's not overbearingly, imposed
right.
by me. Yeah.
So I'm going back. Yeah, I mean, for me, yes, have a job. Do you need to be making six figures or whatever, a certain salary? Preferably, yeah, but but I get it. Let's just be realistic. If you're just saying I work at McDonald's or whatever, okay, good for you. You have a job. But then this is where the whole communication for me comes into play at, all right, if we're going to work together, so let's talk about your aspirations in life. What is it, what's more that you want
As
to
you're
do?
But
dating,
what
or
if
is
they're
it a
content? If they're content
With what?
with where they're at.
Okay, but that wouldn't
Good
be
for you.
that wouldn't cut it for
Yeah,
me.
good for
and
you.
and I guess what I forgot to tell you guys is, in screening people, I always make sure, at 34, I always try to I look at the places I go and the people I know and the circles I'll move in. I shouldn't meet somebody that works at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I should not. So that to me wouldn't be a part of the screening process because
It just shouldn't
yeah,
happen.
it just
Right.
should not be because
Yeah,
I shouldn't be
agree.
there. It's like in a heterosexual world, I see all these guys dating, or in trouble with younger
Yes.
girls. I'm like, where are you as a 40-year-old man to meet
Yeah.
a 17-year-old girl?
Absolutely.
So that's how I see it.
Curtis, what about you?
I really honestly don't focus on things that I deem superficial. I focus on things such as integrity and moral standards, family values. I focus on things as if they can have a decent discussion that leaves out Beyonce every now and then.
Don't do Beyonce.
I really need somebody to be honest. I really need somebody to be able to willing to learn how to communicate, because communication is something I'm trying to learn, and I do think it's something that it's evolving with me. But I definitely think they need to have integrity. They need to have good family values and love their family, and that's what I look for in qualities of guys. I think idealistically you want somebody to look appealing to you, but I do know that realistically we're all getting older and it doesn't look the
yourself.
same. No, it doesn't. It's not going to look the same
Right.
over
Ever.
years.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
but
That's why you need to lock somebody down now.
Well, if they
What
can't
about
communicate, we can't. No.
I think for me, it goes when I'm dating somebody, it's honesty. Are they genuinely nice? Sometimes I like to hear conversations where they have with their family members or their
Yeah.
friends, and if they're yelling at their friends and cussing them out, they're probably going to do the same thing to you. I'm kind of a person who likes to go out. You need to be kind to that person, but I need you to be open to stuff.
and available to you.
And yeah, that's me. If I'm getting to know you, I need to be able to know you. I don't want to just sit in your house.
Okay, so I'm assuming that everybody has at one point in their life been on social media apps such as A for A, Grindr.
Some of us are still on there.
Never.
And some of
In the
us.
day.
Some of us are still
Back
on
in the
there.
day.
No, never in the day period. Only at
Back in the
night.
day.
Since our requirements are not crazy, let's talk about some of the requirements that you've seen on the apps. What do you think about it?
I'm going first. I've always seen no film, masculine, only tops, only bottoms. It's like they have crazy. It was like only.
Well, I don't think only top and only bottom is crazy. I mean, you only
like what you like.
No, you only can do what you can do.
but that's what you're saying.
You only can do what you can do.
But no, I'm saying
some people ain't equipped to do stuff.
They're like, I told you what I saw.
But that's not no. But
some people say only leather.
I'm just saying.
Some people like I'm only into leather. And
We in Houston.
I think.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
But I mean, this is on social media platform. If you
Yeah,
ever look
okay,
those
yeah,
those
I
profiles, you'd be like.
But I'm thinking with that question. I'm thinking when you said femme and mask. Like I think that's
Commonplace.
it's common.
I
think it does make people feel some kind of way because you are who you are.
Well, listen, if we're gonna
I-
stick to topic, I'm gonna say if somebody puts that, masculine
not for
only,
you.
they're not for you, and they're telling you what they need, and not as opposed to
But
what
is
they
it
want.
what you-
Because, back to what you said, you can only do what you can do.
Are these want things a gay must have before they putting yourself out there on the market?
I mean, you can have a whole laundry list of needs. That are legitimate and to be over the top, maybe even some wants, and then you can. But if you're open-minded, if you always remain open-minded, and you can meet somebody that tears everything down. So I think regardless of what you want, you've always got to be receptive to possibility.
Why do you feel our wants and our needs get intermingled all the time?
Because everybody's different.
I'll say
Everybody's different. What I like, you might not like. What I need, he don't need.
I think sometimes we get distracted with our wants and our I think we get distracted with things because social media makes us feel like we need to have everybody else has this perfect world, and so we need to have the perfect world. We want to be with the cutest guy. We want to be the next it couple. Jumping out of boats and on balloons and going on these grand vacations, and things become a little bit unrealistic in what can actually be obtained in your relationship. And I think sometimes it makes you overlook good people. I think I've been overlooked a few times because I don't fit that mold of what is desirable aesthetically. And sometimes we get those intermingled, and we have to take a step back and just look. I think probably with maturity, I've started to look at the things that were needs versus wants, and that's why I started looking like. When I'm dating people, I look for those qualities, and it's been weird. It's been very hard, but when I've been dating, I go, man, the person is really aesthetically pleasing. I go out on a date with them a couple of times, and I talk to them, and I go, this is really not going to work.
You're like, oh, they're a jerk.
Yeah.
Because, I do this too. We start dating, we talk, and in my head, I'm already thinking about marriage. I was kind of, let's just jump. Okay, we do marriage. You can meet my family. You can do this. You can do this. But do you find it where you just jump in ahead and you get let down,
Maybe.
Me, I'm always measured, and I try to evaluate things real time. So I can never get caught up.
Yeah. And that's the P. Thank you, JB and Robert again for joining us on this week's Wants versus Needs. And remember to like, subscribe, and share with your family and friends. Also, let's hear what your P is down below. Tonight, 7:30 p.m., Facebook Live, we want to know what's your P. Where we'll be answering your questions online. And that's the P.